Good morning to the Monday morning inspiration for the joy of creation and the magic of art, creativity and play. I am Bettina Madini and I am your host here. I'm in my studio surrounded by my paintings, and there's a lot of stuff lying around. I was painting yesterday and yeah, it's spread out everywhere. And the good thing is I can still step through all of it, so I could get to my computer here. Good morning. How have you all been? What have you been creating? So today's theme is what's simmering in your world, and what do you do with that? How does this show up? Is there a discomfort? Is there an urge? Like, what I found is when I have this in my world, like there's something and it's knocking at my door, and it's really very, very potent, very at times also uncomfortable. And so what is there? What if this is not wrong? We have the tendency to make this wrong and avoid it. So my question to you is, what do you do with this? What do you decide? Do you decide that you are depressed? Do you decide you are angry and upset at someone or something? What do you do with this discomfort, with this nagging energy in your world? So first of all, number one, what if it's not wrong? What if this is not wrong? Because the thing is, when we make it wrong, we cannot change it, and B, we lock it in, so it will be wrong, and then we come to conclusion, we go into reaction. You might find that you are very upset at somebody that you are not really upset at, or you create situations that justify your upset that you have concluded you have. We are creators. So good morning to the Monday morning inspiration for the joy of creation. So what if it is not wrong? What if you are not wrong? What if there is nothing wrong in your universe? Could it be that the universe is actually trying to encourage you, like nudging you into something, maybe a different direction, or going somewhere else, or meeting other people? And, you know, have you been asking for change? Have you been asking for something different to change your life or your whatever situation? So what if this change is now actually showing up? It doesn't show up the way you have a fantasy about how it should show up. What if it is showing up right with this discomfort, with this nagging energy, this pounding energy? The voice, what is this voice trying to tell you? What is your body trying to tell you? And are you listening? Are you paying attention? Or are you trying to distract you? And how do you distract you? Do you eat? Do you drink? Do you, what do you do? So these are mechanisms that we use to distract ourselves from what is actually knocking at our doors. What, like a question could be, what can you create that you don't? What can you create that you are avoiding? What is there actually asking you to be created? So when this nagging energy is around this, you don't even know what it is. You cannot put your finger on it. It is so like such a space. You don't actually really have an answer. And that's really great. Having an answer is also where we have concluded already what it is. Yet when we are embarking on a new journey, or we are making really this big change, everything is different. Energetics are different. We create new connections, literally energetic connections. And so, yeah, that might be uncomfortable. It's like you take a tree and you plant it in a different forest. Is it uncomfortable for the tree or any other plant when you transplant a flower, or you know, even when you move your, like, let's say you move your cat into a new house, yeah, there is great discomfort for the cat and maybe also for you because the cat is not happy. And so what you can do in these moments of like nagging energy and discomfort, ask a question. Is this part of the change that I've been asking for? What is this? What is trying to get my attention? And just keep asking questions, and something will show up. The universe will bring you ideas or people, or you might overhear a conversation somewhere where you just stop for a coffee, and that is that there is something. What have you been asking for years that is now showing up? Are you willing to ask these questions and take a new canvas and paint? Pick the colors and just start somewhere. Do something. You know, sign up for a newsletter or go to the local library. It's like, wow, what is this? Where can I find more information about this? Where are the books? Where are the words that I can hear? What is this? Help me out, universe. I don't have an answer here. And the universe will bring you things, ideas, Facebook messages, or I don't know, like just like images on Instagram or wherever you are, images. Or you might go to a movie just because it's so light. Might be a movie that you haven't even read anything about. You just like hop in and you watch it, and wow, there's something that really lightens you up, that joyful lightness. And that is where the universe is bringing you a possibility. It will always have a lightness. So you might say now, well, but discomfort is not light. And I know that it doesn't, quote unquote, feel light. Yet what is there that you could choose that could create the lightness with the change, with the transformation? How many of you out there are in huge transformation? And what could be a contribution to you? It could be a book. It could be like getting together with some people who really have your backs, having a coffee with a real friend. You can also come to a painting class. What if it is possible to have ease with big change and big transformations? What if it is truly possible? And everywhere you have made it impossible and you really love complaining about the discomfort and you sit in it and you dwell in it, which is okay too. If you do it, enjoy it. Go for it. All right, so do you have any questions here?
Hi, yeah, I would really like more awareness around my potency. So many things have been shifting and changing, and part of me is like still uncertain about the possibilities. And somewhere that I mean, I've worked on this, and there's still some place that's sticking me. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, where can I create more of my potency?
When you say something is sticking you, what do you mean?
Well, it's like I'll have this huge possibility or an idea or a creation, and if I share it with someone, it seems like their points of view surrounding that kind of diminishes the magic and the creation piece. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, totally. Yes, it makes totally sense. What if you don't share?
Oh, amen, girl. Oh, wow. What would it take for that to happen? So,
Yeah, there is this, and I know what you are saying there. Like, I know this from my own world so very well. There is this bubbly excitement, and you have this great idea, and yes, I want to share it with the world and my best friends, and then you share it, and then they come up with all the reasons and justifications why not, and how it is too risky. And I had this in my own life several times. Like, people always have, like, when I actually quit my job in the banking world, like what, 16 years ago or something. And I told my boss in Luxembourg that I was moving to New York City and going to art school. He was freaking out, and he told me, you cannot do this. Like, I was so excited. It was like, yes, I didn't know how I would do that. I was like going into the unknown, and he came up with all this, it's dangerous in New York City. And I just said, thank you so much. Now, what will happen is when you sort of, I wonder, so with your project, can I ask you a question?
yes.
Have you come out of the box?
Sometimes I peek my head out.
Yeah, and then what, right? How many people
Like,
are
oh,
there?
no.
Right? How many people are there that will push you back into the box?
Oh, yes.
You have
Several.
to stay with us. It is safe here. Don't go out. It's dangerous. It's like, and what is the danger really? Like, have you also been too joyful for them? And oh, that's not good. I mean, really, what medication are you on, by the way, right? So they will come up with all the reasons and justifications for you to not do this, to not choose it. And what if you don't listen? So when we share, like, you can also look into what is this, your desire to share. And then when you get these responses from people, well, now what can you choose?
Yeah.
What if you don't listen? And then next time, what if you don't share? There is always this moment. Oh, that's pretty. There's always this moment, even when do I share? That's like when you are creating a project, there is the beginning of it where you get the energy of it, and the universe brings you something, and it's like, oh, there is this excitement. So what if you don't share, but you keep asking questions? Now, okay, so how do I create this? What project? It can also be a painting, whatever it is, a sculpture, a business, whatever, an event. Okay, so what's it going to take for me to create this? What project? What do you require? Who do you require? And so you start creating it, and you start, if required, you start bringing in people that can contribute to this. It depends on how big your project is. Yet when we share prematurely, then we have to deal with all these points of view and undo those. And it might be making it a little bit more difficult, right?
Right.
So what if you don't share?
Exactly. Well, part of the sharing part is I have people who really want to create with me and co-create things, but it's just like they have a different view of it. like for example, I did Dane's program that was called Lose Your Mind, the telecall Lose Your Mind. And then I had someone approach me who wanted to do an event based on the constructs of the mind and how important they were. I was like, no, 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 I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. So it was kind of like the opposite. And so it is outside of the box stuff, you know, but like you said, I'm just kind of like allowing that to put me back in and, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, so then you could still ask the question, what can I create here? So what if this is not wrong? This is what I said earlier. What if this, like when things like this show up, what if it's not a wrongness? What if it's like, okay, universe, thank you so much. And what else is possible? You have, obviously you have the access consciousness tools, which is great. Thank you so much, universe. That's a great idea. And tap into what can I create here? Where everybody else is talking about the soul or the mind.
Yeah, be mindful.
Be mindful, exactly. So like what allowance can you be that would also create beyond this reality? When we don't have any point of view about anything, we can basically be anywhere and go anywhere. What can we create? It's all about creation. So I love your questions, because one of the questions I asked earlier today is what can you create that you don't?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So when these people show up, there are these simple questions of, okay, will they be a contribution to my business? Will they be a contribution to my classes or whatever you are creating?
Well, that's why I was like, okay, where can I access more of my potency and my power versus, you know, I guess it's choice. Ta-da. But yes, like how does not sharing? Got it. Check. You know, like what is that piece? Like, is there something locked there that's keeping me like in that loop, like being the people pleaser or wanting to share the excitement or the idea? And it's like, is that really me, or is that, you know, an AI, or, you know, am I functioning from their point of view or picking up their thoughts and then I'm speaking them? It's just so.
Well, how much do you actually care about people? How much would you love to contribute to them by sharing your everything, your greatest ideas, and hey, let's do it. Then you find out other people went and walked with your ideas and they created it, or they try to destroy them, diminish them. And so it's like, are you willing to acknowledge how generous you are, how benevolent you also are, and how much you care about people?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, this is,
Cool.
it's so funny because I've never even heard of this. I was going through my email. I just moved and I just got Wi-Fi. So today's the day that I'm like, okay, I'm on the Wi-Fi. I'm just gonna like to be in my slippers and be on the computer. And I was like, this morning coffee thing. And I was like, oh shoot, I missed it. And I was like, no, it started at 10. So I was like clicking and trying to get on, and you're like, somebody's here. I'm like, oh, I am. So it's like I couldn't see me, I couldn't see you. I'm like, but I heard you talking, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Tapping into your potency, like what makes you believe you are not potent?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
that
are
was
you looking for something?
that was
Are you
being
looking?
points of view. Yeah.
Are you looking for something outside of you that you must find so that you can be as potent as you are? And what have you defined as potency that isn't?
Wow.
Have you defined kindness as lack of potency?
I guess like I mean, it sent me into this. Yes, obviously, because that couldn't even calculate in there.
Yeah, you have this kind and gentle energy that is a great potency. it's just, you know, we always think that those who talk louder and are bolder and like talk over everybody else are the potent ones. But what if that's not true? So what can you create with great ease that you don't have to share in the first stages of of generating it, that you don't have to share with anybody, and instead ask questions and create it, and then also invite those that will be a contribution to you and your project or classes or whatever business you are creating. And are you willing to never give up your awareness?
Part of me wants to hang on to it.
Like this joy that you had before these people came in to demolish it, right?
Yes.
So like, are you willing to right now tap again into that space and that possibility that you were aware of, and just like dissipate and release all these other points of view that were projected at you, and just like tap into your knowing and into your being and your awareness right now? Okay, cool. Wow.
Thank you.
Cool. That's awesome. It's like, oh, thank you so much for sharing this and for caring so much for me. Thank you. And then you walk away, right?
Yeah.
And you might also find that most of the people that you actually thought would care for you and be your friends, they might maybe not for creation, you know, like they have their own points of view and they don't want you to go out of the box, maybe not to lose you or whatever that is.
Right.
But what if you never give up you?
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Never give up me. I'm just, you know, I mean, I really enjoy the adventure, the journey that I'm on, and I appreciate these types of platforms to be able to ask these kind of questions, because you know, there's not a lot of people out there having these kind of conversations. So thank you so much for that. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. In the future. Bye.